Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, February 11th, 2020. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. The security of this country's prison service has come under scrutiny yet again, with 2 cell phone video recordings reportedly made from inside the Bilal facility making their rounds on social media. In the videos, at least 3 inmates are seen in their cell proudly displaying their cell phones while interacting with each other and making gestures. Over the years, the prison service has been faced with challenges as it relates to contraband items being smuggled into the prisons, including cellular phones. On numerous occasions, including interviews with SVG-TV News, the Superintendent of Prisons, Brenton Charles, appealed to the public to obey the prison rules as it relates to contraband items. Superintendent Charles was unavailable to comment on the videos now in circulation, but we understand that an investigation has been launched. In October last year, accused murderer Veron Primus pleaded guilty to a charge that between September 30th and October 1st, 2019, at Kingston, while being held on remand at Her Majesty's prisons, he escaped lawful custody, for which he was jailed for 16 months. At the time when Primus escaped, the Superintendent of Prisons deemed the situation as embarrassing and assured Vincentians it's an isolated incident which will not happen again. Human rights activist Jeannie Oliver says it is time the police get more proactive in dealing with domestic violence, noting that all reports must be taken seriously. In an interview with SVG-TV News today, Oliver says victims of domestic violence can put forward a case against an officer who refused to take action once requested.
Because if I come to the police station and you tell me go home and make up with my husband or go cook the husband food or whatever, as some of the police officers these days do, I am going to remind you that you have an obligation to take the statement that I am giving you. And if you don't take the statement and if you don't take action, a charge can be brought against you.
Oliver said even with training, continuous education has to be done, not only for the police, but with individuals from all sectors of the society in dealing with domestic violence. She also stressed the need for persons experiencing domestic violence to speak out and get the necessary help.
But yet, people are refusing to speak. The 2015 domestic violence legislation gives the authority to social workers and those of us who see, who witness, who hear about the issue of domestic violence, not to be silent, to speak out. Because if you don't speak, nobody will know. We have to speak. So one of the things besides education that we must do is to open our big mouths and speak.
Oliver added that perpetrators of domestic violence are not only men, but women as well, and said that educating boys and girls at an early age can help to reduce some of the incidents that are occurring in society today.
Speak to our boys about positive values, how to treat women. When you hear them talking to the sister rough at home, correct them. Let them know that the way they're speaking to their sister, the way you're speaking to me as your mother, I'm not going to accept it. And in the same vein, teach our girl children what not to accept from men or from young men or from males. Those are the only things that we can do. Continue the education. Since we have the education, each one teach one. Each one look out for one.
In other news, young people in this country are being urged to take advantage of the Skill for Youth Employment Project, SKY, which is expected to commence next month. The SKY project, which will provide training for more than 200 youths across the country, is funded by the British government to help equip youths in SVG and across the region with a new skill. Speaking on the project on the radio on Sunday, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said that his target this year is to build an entrepreneurial class for the young people of SVG.
But yes, alone, we want to do a gardening survey, so on. What some other like thing that we have money on the CARSIP. If, for instance, you're a young man with skills as a barber, and you want to get set up as a barber, and you don't have the chair, you don't have the clippers, you don't have the thing, and so on. Once the people who interview you, and these are, like in the CARSIP one, is public servants plus people from the private sector.
The Prime Minister said his entrepreneurial idea for the youth will also be supported by government grants.
Grants, just like with the CARSIP. In both cases, we borrow the money cheaply. Half of 1 percentage point, we got some money. Interest. And we the government will pay back both the principal and the interest. And the young people, they submit a business plan, they have to have targets, would be observable, and so on and so forth. And they recommend, and these people, they approved, they get the grants, and they have to meet certain targets. Actually, under the CARSIP grants, you know that grants have been given of over $200,000.
Yes.
20 young people get money is, I think, varying from 60,000 to over 200,000.
Deputy Chief Education Officer Dixon Finley has employed educators here to develop a spirit of gratitude and togetherness. His comments came at the opening ceremony of a leadership workshop held yesterday under the Human Development Service Delivery Project. The workshop brought together the educators to sharpen their leadership skills to help facilitate quality education. Finley told the educators that quality leadership is key to their efforts in education, but it cannot be achieved alone. Using biblical references, Finley urged them to support each other.
We need each other. And the Bible speaks about succession. So when you see somebody going up, don't be grudgeful. You never know what is in store for you. Pray for your leaders and ensure that you do your best. And once you do your best, God will provide. There are some persons who are only thankful when they see rewards. But you should be thankful all the time. We have to be thankful for life, because there are many leaders among us who are in pain, who are sick. Let us pray for the weak as we pray for the strong, and as we go through today, let us all remember that we can do all things through Christ, who give us the strength to make St. Vincent the Grenadines a better place. Once again, thank you very much, and may God continue to bless all of us.
Guest speaker Bruce Barrett said the way to a better life for students is through education. He noted that the work of educators continue to increase over the years and commended the nation's educators for the dedication they continue to show.
Changed from student achievement to student achievement and well-being. We are asked more and more to do the complete parenting package as educators. And what I want to applaud you and recognize you for is that the fact that we're here together underscores that you and the government recognize that this cannot be done at the level of the classroom. This is entirely about system leadership, system alignment, and system coherence. Because it is the very people that you influence, and those people and who they influence, that has the trickle-down effect of essentially watering the roots for student achievement. You have enormous influence. And I've sat here and I've listened to the words, because words are so very much part of the fabric of what we connect to as educators. And I've listened to words like from the chief around inclusion, equity, and all. And these are enormously important features.
Minister of Tourism, Sports and Culture, Cecil Sesmaki, said promoting SVG as a yachting destination is now reaping benefits, with yachts and sailboats coming in their numbers throughout the year. Minister Mackey was addressing the welcoming ceremony for 60 sailors with the Viking Explorers last Friday at the Blue Lagoon Hotel.
You have been wise in your choice of making that long journey across the Atlantic to be here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that is confirmed by your number. And as you just heard, next year we have a full house, a full yacht, and therefore more of you would be coming. I'm sure at the end of the day as well, that you will become converts and ambassadors of this destination, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And you would either come again next year, or you would tell your family and your friends, and they would also come.
Minister Mackey explained to the sailors why SVG remains a unique tourist destination and one with a difference in the entire Caribbean.
You've heard a lot of our sailing waters, but I confirm that our sail and our dive waters are some of the best anywhere in the world. If you want to experience white sand beaches, and we have 2 of the top 20, I would say, in the world, or black sand beaches, because all of the beaches on mainland St. Vincent are volcanic in nature, so they're black. In the Grenadines, coral in nature, and therefore they're white.
Captain Bly and Blue Lagoon representatives said they are pleased to be sponsors of the Viking Explorers, who has contributed to the steady visit of sailors to these shores.
Sure, at the end of your visit, you're going to agree that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is truly a special place. We consider ourselves the gem of the Caribbean. Our people are warm, as you can know. We're a 32 island state. We have the warm blue waters of the Caribbean, and of course we have the very best rum.
And the rum and the culture, and we hope to see you all again next year. Thank you to Viking Explorers, the owners, managers. They've made it very easy for us to work alongside them. Thank you to all our sponsors. And on behalf of Blue Lagoon Marina, we hope that you stick around for a few more days so we can really get to know you better.
The sailors with the Viking Explorers are here for a few weeks. Some of the sailors have already booked to sail again to SVG next year, up to 2022. The Carnival Development Corporation, CDC, has high expectations for Vincy Mas 2020 as it continues to market the product as the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. At a press conference today, the first for the year, the CDC's chairman Ricardo Adams said that they have revamped their marketing strategies to generate more hype for Vincy Mas 2020.
Put together a regional marketing plan, and one of the target areas is going to be Trinidad, because Trinidad is an area where everybody from across the world comes to basically kick off the carnival season for the year and set the stage for what is happening. And from all reports, from the feedback that we've been getting, Vincy Mas, if we package it properly, if we market it well, is going to be an absolutely fantastic festival this year. We've got music already released. I remember years ago when we were struggling to get songs for the launch of Carnival in May, and we had to put on the new song competition just to get people to release a couple of songs so that we had songs with which to launch Carnival. We're in February, it's not even Valentine's yet, it's before Trinidad Carnival, and we have people already releasing music for Vincy Mas.
The new CDC Marketing and Development Officer is Ezzy Roberts. Creating a logo for Vincy Mas 2020 is also in the making. At today's press conference, the CDC's chairman also addressed the issue of appropriate carnival wear and the type of music being produced by some artists.
One of the things that we still manage to do is our traditional bands here have still managed to do absolutely wonderful and creative costumes, but leave people tastefully dressed. And I think we have to be guarded that we do not go down the road where some of the other islands, and I think from reports St. Lucia was particularly bad last year, some of the other islands thought that the less that you wore, the more your costume impacted on people. Likewise, the music. We do not have to, if you listen to the songs that are doing very well internationally. If you're listening to the songs that are doing very well in Trinidad and Tobago right now, there are very few of them that talk about bending over some woman and doing something to her and being disrespectful. There are very few of them that are bordering on profanity with a veiled disguise. And if we want to take the music internationally, we have to appeal also to the international taste.
This year, the Miss SVG pageant will be held outside of the carnival season and is expected to take place in October as part of the country's independence activities. Coordinator of the CDC's Beauty Shows Committee, Lafon Fraser, said they saw it fit to make the change for national reasons. The media launch for Vincy Mas 2020 will be held on March 3rd, with the official public launch to kickstart the activities on May 2nd. The Garifuna Heritage Foundation plays a very significant role in the official celebration of National Heroes and Heritage Month here in SVG. Since the declaration of March as National Heroes Month, the foundation has been hosting a number of activities to celebrate the significance of the month, and this year will be no exception. At a media launch today, President of the Garifuna Heritage Foundation, David Daki Williams, said the celebration period from March 6 to 13 includes the 7th International Garifuna Conference, the 6th Annual Schools Festival, and an exhibition on indigenous art, craft, and artifacts.
Our exhibition of craft and artifacts. Under the theme that we have been using for these exhibitions, which is From Orinoco to Exile. And this exhibition covers that period from the indigenous people who came across from the Orinoco River in Venezuela to the Caribbean, not just St. Vincent, but to other Caribbean islands. And then out of that journey, over a number of years, over a couple of centuries, emerged the Garifuna, or the Black Caribs, as they were christened by the colonizers.
Representative of the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, Maxine Brown, highlighted the main objectives of the 6th Annual Schools Garifuna Folk Festival, which will be held on March 6 under the theme Children of Chatier, Fruits of Our Heritage.
To remove fun and exciting. And in showcasing the talents of our students, we take the time to celebrate our rich heritage. In so doing, we allow our students to experience and become aware of our Garifuna cultural heritage. TGHF, the Garifuna Heritage Foundation, continues to contribute to the overall enhancement of our Heroes and Heritage Month, held every year in the month of March. And most of all, the Garifuna Heritage Foundation, including the Ministry of Tourism, Sports and Culture, and the Ministry of Education, want to engender national pride regarding our rich cultural heritage.
Of intentions were tested with what they know and do not know by host of the popular YouTube educational program, Trinidadian Daniel Loveless Roberts, who is in the state recording for his next program, which will be aired on Friday. Loveless has been visiting several Caribbean countries, educating and learning about each country and their citizens, which he documents on YouTube and shared on other social media platforms, including Facebook.
It's been really nice. It has been a successful trip. We were able to successfully produce 2 episodes of What You Know to bring some laughter and learning to the citizens of St. Vincent and Grenadines and the world. The people have been really receptive to the show. People have been showing me a lot of love and support, and I'm really grateful for that and grateful to be here. I really enjoyed the beaches in Beckway. It was really nice. It was really unique and it was a really enjoyable experience for me. I also had the opportunity today to visit the botanical gardens, so it was amazing to see the national bird of St. Vincent and learn a little bit more about the heritage of the country and the cultural aspects, etc.
The 20-year-old, who has a following of more than 300,000 on Facebook, said he has been doing the show since he was 17. He has a special advice for youngsters in SVG, alluding to discipline, commitment, and sacrifice as a must in order to succeed in life.
Believe in your dreams, set your goals, have a vision, and just know that sometimes success will be a long, hard journey. It'll be a long, hard road. Sometimes it may take sleepless nights. It may take certain sacrifices, in terms of financial sacrifices, sleep deprivation sometimes, not eat on time sometimes. Certain things will happen sometimes, but just understand that that's all a part of the journey, and you just need to just keep believing in your dreams and believing that one day you will be successful, and one day the universe will align to give you what you want. And
the What You Know host, who has been in SVG for 6 days now, said he asked 5 questions to random persons. However, no one was able to answer all correctly, hence losing out on a winning cash prize of $400.
Vincent, this is your boy Daniel, and we're out here in Kingston here today, and we come out to ask the simple question that we ask around the world: what you know? We just want to know what you know. If you know anything, you may know, I may not know, but we just want to know what you know. And if you didn't know, now you know. Let me go. On Friday, we will be releasing the first episode that was produced right here in St. Vincent on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, and across all social media platforms.